What the haters talking about?
What's up, family? 1 week after Stacey Dash protege, far-right pundit, and universal sellout, Candace Owens, Candace, sat on a revolt panel and could not properly articulate a time in American history where America was great. And 5 months after she told Congress the rise in hate crimes is fake and the GOP's Southern strategy was a myth, Republicans once again invited the Aunt Your Mama throwback to testify before a subcommittee on combating white supremacy. This time around, Candace straight up dismissed the notion that white nationalism is a problem. Early on in Friday's hearing before the House Oversight Joint Subcommittee, Candace, who last year said Adolf Hitler was okay before he tried to go global, downplayed the threat of white supremacy in the United States, calling it nothing more than a fringe issue. Remember, the El Paso mass shooting was less than 2 months ago. Check out what she said. If we're going to have a hearing on white supremacy, we are assuming that the biggest victims of that are minority Americans. And, presumably, this hearing would be to stop that and preserve the lives of minority Americans, which, based on the hierarchy of what's impacting minority Americans, if I had to make a list of 100 things, white nationalism would not make the list. Remember, y'all, I just interviewed Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I said that these sellouts, they have a penchant to cover their tracks by offering some truth mixed in with a lot of their BS. And this is how they fool a lot of people. Case in point, right on the money as scheduled. Candace goes in less than 24 hours after I talked to Dr. Boyce Watkins about this and proved my point. She talks about how there's no such thing as white supremacy. That's not a threat. That's not a big deal. It's a hoax. Racism is not a problem in America. Then she'll say, well, I think we have a bigger problem with black-on-black crime, and we have a problem with the lack of fathers in the household. See, these are subjects that are true. These are issues in the black community. There are issues. But we have issues in other communities too that are similar. But when she mentioned the ills of the black community, she oftentimes gets a pass. Same thing with Charles Barkley. These type of people, they get a pass for shitting on the black community, basically. This is how they get by. They'll throw in some truths, and because people like to hear that, well, she did tell the truth. Well, some of what she say is true. It is true. And they gloss right over the idea that this fool is making a living off of criticizing the black community. That's what she does. Criticize the black community and regurgitate white supremacist talking points. Anytime your criticism of your community outweigh your contributions, you are a sellout, irrespective of race. This just in. Candace Owens is transracial. She identifies as a 50-year-old white woman from the 1800s. You know what? This woman's rhetoric reminds me of, unlike Candace, a woman who is well respected. Something she said, I freed 1,000 slaves. I would have freed 1,000 more if only they had known they were slaves. No more talk.
What the haters talking about?